So we're here today, very, very special Yantiv. Misha Ba'av. Mishnah tells us like Hay Yom Tovim Yisrael. Misha Ba'av Yom Kippurim. There were no greater holidays among the Jewish people than the 15th of Av and Yom Kippur. And it brings various reasons. Mishnah mentions what we have here. We bring from the Kedushas Levi. There were no greater holidays to Jewish people than Chmishas B'Av. Shebehem B'nai Yisrael Yotzes Mechilas Kramim Chli Lavan Sh'ulin. It says because that's when the daughters of Israel would go out and dance in circles in the vineyards with white garments that were borrowed. The Nira, it seems like this Lama B'Chli Lavan Sh'ulin Davka. Why they specifically wear borrowed white garments? Nira Lavor Al Pimaim Chazal. It seems we could explain this in accordance with the teaching of our sages. The Gemara in the end of Tainus says, "Also the Kadosh Baruch Hu lasses machal tzadikim lasses lavai." That in the future, God is going to make a circle dance for the righteous people, for the saints, for the tzadikim, lasses lavai in the future. That's to come. Kedushas Levi says, "Kihine yesh shnei minei seiros." Heilig B'ditcha Baruch ranked that there are two types of awakenings that inspire us in holiness. Yesh adamar atzmei lavodas habaris barach. Some people, they encourage themselves to serve God, to serve the blessed Creator. Yesus says to la'ela. Ma shemegia la'adam is eres mila'el lasis utzim Shem Yisborach. But then there's a supernal awakening, a different approach. That some people, it comes to a person sometimes to do the will of God, and that comes from heaven. It comes from God to be inspired to perform the will of God. If someone encourages themselves, arouses themselves to serve God, that's called his. But when a person is inspired from heaven to serve God, that doesn't belong to him. That is considered like something that's borrowed, meaning it's not his property, it's borrowed from heaven. Adam atzmai ma'ariyot sign habaris barach. Rosh Hashanah, on the new year, a person has to bring from within himself inspiration to serve God. V'yesh lei pachad miyom hadin. And then a person is frightened from the judgment day. But on this day, the 15th of Av, the inspiration comes from heaven. Because God comes to rule the world, to judge the world. This is what's hinted to. Israel. What does it mean the daughters of Israel go out? This means the Jewish souls, and the communal soul, the congregational soul, of the Klal Yisrael. It represents the sphere of Malchus, which is the feminine sphere, and that's we have B'nai Yisrael. B'chli Lavan, who wear white garments. Lavan merumez al ha'ayin. What does it mean, white? White means this idea of nothingness. Why? Lavan kol kol gvanin. We're aware that in white light, all the other colors are included. This is a scientific fact. The difference between pigment and light. Meaning pigments, when you mix all the colors together, you get black or brown or something, with light, when you mix all the colors of the rainbow together, you get white. And that's where, like, the rainbow exists by refracting the white light into the 7 colors. So just like the white light includes all the other, and that's why we're able to see various colors, because when you see, scientifically speaking, when you something has the pigment of a particular color, so that item absorbs all of the colors from the white light, except for the colors that it reflects. So you see blue, meaning it absorbs the other colors and reflects the blue. You see red, it absorbs the other colors from the white light and reflects the red. Because white light includes all the others, and if you had a colored light, right, so then you only see that color, and the others, you don't, they're absorbed, they look black. The white light has all the colors. This is science. So this is the science of optics. So so that's what it means. Rumors could be lovin kol gvanim. Within white light is include all the other colors. This is what it means. The borrowed shezeh bechina. What does it mean borrowed? They have the borrowed white garments. It means at this level of ayin, which is totally inclusive, that nothing else exists but God. We're not aware of that all year long, but when God pours that message down into us from above, meaning we borrow it from God, we're not worthy to it on our own. That's the idea. When it says the daughters of Israel go out in borrowed white garments, it means that the Jewish souls are aware of the truth of the light, of the infinite light of God, on a level that they would not be worthy to on their own, but rather it's given to them from God, and so it's on the level that it's considered borrowed. Now, like we said it before, Zarem is mechoilis b'kramim. Then it says they're dancing in circles in the vineyards. What does that mean? Ki machol hu mash adam menagen b'chli zemer. Concept of playing music with musical instruments. That's this idea of the circle. Dancing in a circle. Zeh ha'oiseh ha'machol k'fi ha'nigun. And when people dance, it goes in accordance with a tune that's played. Shezeh menagin, one is playing the music. V'nimsa ish achim oroisei. Someone else is encouraging him and awakening him to sing. So Rem is asa de Kedushas Baruch Hu lasis machal tzadikim. That's the concept hidden behind this word that sounds, it doesn't sound normal, meaning, what does it mean? That God's going to make a circle for the saints to dance. What does it mean? There's a deep message in it. It doesn't just mean in a simple meaning. A lot of my friends, they like to say, oh, all these midrashim, they're ridiculous, we should throw them out the window. No, it doesn't mean you throw them out the window. It means you don't take them on a simple level. It means there's a deeper philosophy behind what we're learning. And so what is it that we have here? God's going to make a circle for the righteous people. It means means that God encourages us to do His will. Meaning that we're only worthy to serve God because of what God gives us. It's by His grace that He puts into our being the ability to serve Him, and that is done because He gives us that power. And so in accordance with the measure of the blessings that God is giving, that is where they're receiving, and that they're serving Him and giving back to Him. And really that's true with all the mitzvahs we do. We think we're giving something to God. No. Every mitzvah we do, it's not what we do for God, it's what God does for us. Meaning, when we're putting on tefillin, we're not putting on tefillin for God. God is giving us a gift of the tremendous merit and the tremendous honor that He allows us to put on tefillin. And so too with every mitzvah we do. Just saying, for example. So it's not something we give to God, because God doesn't need our mitzvahs. We need them. It's a gift from God, just like every other gift that God gives us: sight and the five senses, and He gives us a nice family and a nice place to live and good food to eat and a nice car and a nice job and all these wonderful things that God gives us, good friends and family and everything, shul to daven and all these things. This is what God gives for us, not what we give for God. Same thing, all of the mitzvahs that we do when we daven and when we learn and we do chesed and all these things that we do, we're not giving to God, God is giving to us. Zerem is gam ken kan shezeh hayoim or os ers ela bezeh mecholos bekramim kanal. This day awakens us from above. God awakens us above from this day, and that's what it means. Like we said, the circles, dancing in circles in the vineyards. The vineyards, where Nichnas Yain is a side. So first Rashi, Im Shutru Ashvatim Levi Zebzeh. Also Rashi explains that this is the day when the various tribes are allowed to intermarry between the 12 tribes. Why? Because at various times in history, first of all, the story with the Benos Slavchad, the daughters of, I don't know how to say in English, the Lopechad, Slavchad. Slavchad, he had his daughters, they didn't have any sons, and so the inheritance went to the daughters, and to keep it within the tribe, the daughters had to marry within their own tribe. But at a certain point in history, they were allowed to marry whatever tribe they wanted. So that's this. So that's this message of the Shvatim could marry between each other, and also there's a time by Ma'aseh Plegesh Megiva how the Shevet Binyamin was ostracized and yet they were given back in. So Rashi explains when it says that the 12 tribes of Israel were no longer confined to only marry within their own tribe. they could marry amongst each other.
And me.
Ki avos kol echad haya oived as a bar b'chinasai. Each of our patriarchs had a certain way in which they served God. Abraham b'midas ahavo. Abraham served with love. Asher lezemar mus yisoid amayim. This is hinted to with the element of water. Yitzchak b'midas hayira. Isaac served with pious awe and fear. Asher lezemar mus yisoid aish. That hinted to the element of fire.
Frankenstein. About teenage citizens.
Yaakov midas
Superfly.
Ashel
One of this.
Yisoid
Frankenstein covers the world.
Jacob served with beauty and truth,
Not the one.
and that is connected to the element of wind. The Bezeh kol kavanosam ha'el midas malchus, and the truth is, all of them intended to serve God with this concept of the kingdom. Lahamlich aleihem melech malchei amlochim, to accept upon them as the king, the supreme king of kings. Valzeh hamida rumors say the offer. This is hinted to with this midah, with this attribute, the element of earth. Valzeh amar avmavinu v'noichi offer ve'efer. That's why Abraham said, "I am but dust and dirt." So we see all four of these attributes connected to the four basic elements. Each of these are included with the attributes in which this patriarchs served God. So when you have 3 times 4, 3 patriarchs and 4 elements,
Frankenstein covers you.
so then you have 12. That corresponds to the 12 tribes of Israel. Each one had its own way of serving God, according to its level and according to its all of this is when a person serves God from his own inner intent. It comes from himself. But when the inspiration comes from above, from heaven,
This is like your claw. What did you just is a claw Lego?
As Yachal Adam Lavoid, as a Boris Brach V'Cholamidas. When it comes from God, then you could serve God with all of the attributes. Because the individual midas, they come from us, but everything in the unity, it comes from God. Because the inspiration comes from above, from the blessed Creator, who call me kolamidas. This includes all of the attributes. So when he says this day, Roimez alis oris mila'ela kanal. This day that we're celebrating today of Kedushas Levi, it's when the inspiration comes from above. Kasher kasavnu milas lavan. Like we wrote concerning why does it say that they wore white clothing? Because white is the color that includes all the other colors. Shekol v'chol gvanim. Ki ha'avos hayek l'chol echad gavan echad. Each of the patriarchs had their own attribute, which means a different primary color. Shekol kol gvanim. V'zeh hayoyim which megia isaris malaila. But this day, in which inspiration comes from heaven, also a governor shekol kol gvanim. This day has all the different colors involved, all the different attributes. This is what it means that the tribes could go one to the other, marry with each other. What does that mean behind that? Because until then they were different. On this day, which is a gift from God, we're all the same. And this is easy to understand. Just another short Dvar Torah in the Heilige Berditch Baruch. You know, my holy Zayda, the Krula Ruv, Berditch Baruch tried to come visit him, and he jumped out the window because he was afraid. And I'll tell you the truth. I have more nachas to know that the ehrliche Inger Sharuv was Zayda gewollt sich halten by who he was and nicht gewollt tauschen. To me, that's more chashuv than if it would have changed. So, but anyway, Rabbitzin did call him Berditch and the ungewünschte Kind did. And there was the Vetter, Björnus Ben Yuman, the Chenger Rebbe, and the Berditch Rebbe said, "Einer von sei geht werden von Inzere," and that was the Chenger Rebbe. His Schwager, my Zayda, was the Chenger Ruv. That was before him. That was with Moshe Halevi Spitz. We had the yard site a few weeks ago from the Moshe Spitz. Anyway, Kedushas Hainu Chila Atuba of Oror Chvisha Asa Ba'av Hainu Baruch. Aleph Beis. Aleph is Oror cursed, and Beis is Baruch blessed. And the first half of Kedushas Av is cursed, and the second half of Kedushas Av is blessed. V'zeu Av Oror Baruch. That's Aleph Beis stands for Oror Baruch. Chenisif B'zeh Chodesh Haskes Shema Yisrael Havaya Haskes Shema Yisrael Hayim.
Can you make this one?
Each of the months has a different way that the letters of, since the Shem Havaya, the name of God, the 4-letter name Yud Kei Vav Kei, contains 3 different letters before places. So there are 12 different orders in which it could go in. So each month has a tziruf, a way that the letters can be arranged. So for
and here you can see the
Tammuz, it's backwards. It's Hey Vav K Yud, but this Av is Hey Vav Yud K, meaning it starts off backwards and ends forwards. Waking up after it's awakened. V'chein hashleimus acher chesaron. V'chein haskes. K'mayim chazal has. V'acher kaf kes u'shma Yisrael. We should be zeicher. All of our friends who need zivugim, everything what we need, and also to have a zivug oil yafa zayin, that the zivug elyon should be and we should be zeiche to Moisifim Lo Neshamayim. Should be zeiche to learn more Torah every night now, and to approach this very holy day of Rosh Hashanah. Mo Hashem Lokecha Shol Mimcha. We're 45 days away from Rosh Hashanah. Mo Hashem Lokecha Shol Mimcha. We should be zeiche to Ksivach Simatova and good Ben Shvior, and all the brachas from this very holy day. Tzlacha Rava Zeike Bench. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment.